Let me know when you're wrong. Okay. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen at GrantvilleNation. I want to thank y'all for watching this video. This will be a three-part series of interviews with the different candidates that are running for the city council seats. I hope to have the other two candidates offer to give us an interview. All are welcome and encouraged to call. At this time, let me introduce you to former Councilman Lundy. He is running for post 3 against Mr. King. How you doing, sir?
Pleased to meet you, sir.
All right.
Mr. C-Sleep.
Yeah. Ms. Lundy, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, where you were born?
Well, I'm a Grantville product. I was born here 71 years ago. I grew up, went through the Cayuga County public school system. I joined the Army in 1964. I did a 3-year tour. I got out of the Army in 1967. Started my career. I went to work for a company called Illinois Tube Works.
Oh, yeah.
I worked there for 30 years, and I retired as an operations manager. And
How many people did you have under you?
I had over 12 employees. We were a distribution center. We distributed into 8 states. You know, we worked in the Southeast.
And you retired after how many years?
I retired after 30 years, and I came back to, I retired in Grantville, and I got involved in politics in 2006. I was first elected to the city council. I served 2 terms. I lost my seat in 2014, and I decided to get back into politics because I believe I got a lot to offer this town as far as knowing what it takes to bring it back. And I'm not going to make anybody any promise, but I will tell you this, we got a long way to go. People here saying they want this, they want a grocery store, they want businesses on 29, everybody wants to see something happen here, but that's a long way down the road, folks. I'm not going to pull no punches with you and tell you it's going to happen overnight, because it's not. First thing we got to do is we got to make some upgrades to our infrastructure. There's no two ways about it. In order for us to grow and for the city to reap some benefits of that growth, it has to be some upgrades to the infrastructure made. And if we don't do that, we're going to be where we are 10 years from now. We're going to still be where we are. But
That's an interesting point you bring up, Mr. Lundy. One of our members, Mrs. Linda Moore, she's got a question for you. And speaking of infrastructure, she wants to know, what are you going to do about the internet problem in Grantville?
Well, the first thing we need to do is get a professional in here to tell us where we are, what we need, and what we need to do to get better services. I can't do it because I'm not an expert in that field, but we need to look outside and get somebody to come in here, and an advisor to come in and tell us what we need and where we need to go. And
Yeah, because we got three systems. You know, we've got AT&T, and then we've got Comcast, and of course wireless.
yes.
Wireless is extremely expensive. Now, some cities have actually got the internet as a utility. Like we're selling our gas or water or electric. They're actually in the internet business. Would you consider something like that, to look at that?
Yes. I think...
Again, that's why we need an expert.
Yes, but again, like you said, we need somebody to advise us on what we need. But I would be supportive of adding that fee to your utility bills. And I'm sure that everybody in town here that has an internet would not be opposed to adding that, have that feature on their utility bill.
I ran some fundamental numbers, and it comes out to $1.4 million a year that people presently in Grantville are spending on internet services. So there is some money there, to work with.
Well, see, if the city had it on their utility bill, that would be revenue that the city could have going into their general fund as opposed to paying out to these providers that everybody has here. So like I said before, I would be very supportive of the city having its own internet service so we could get that revenue.
Okay.
And provide our citizens that service, which they surely need.
Here's a tough question. This is a young lady. Her name is Tracy Riggins Barclay, and she wants to know, will you vote for new police cars?
On an as-needed basis, yes, I would support adding, buying new police cars, but on an as-needed basis. I think that we should purchase those police cars out of the general fund.
Some people have mentioned that you are not in favor of the police department. What is your position on this, Lundy?
I'm gonna tell you what, since you asked me this question, so that's a no-brainer for me because compared to where we used to be in the past, the kind of policing that we had here, what we got now is entirely different. It's a different kind of police, and this is the way it should have been 6 or 8 years ago when we were in a police state.
Yeah.
The police are friendly. They interact with the public, but they do their job. I support the police department 100% in what they're trying to accomplish here. I haven't had any issues, and I don't have any issues with this police department.
I think Steve Woodlock, our chief of police, has done an outstanding job.
I do too, and I support him in his efforts and what he has accomplished since he's been here. I don't think we could ask for a better person to oversee our police department, our public safety.
Now,
he brings a lot to the table.
Yes, he does.
Experience, and that's what you need. Somebody, he has been under from seeing it from more than one angle, and I like what he's doing.
I do too.
I like what he's doing.
Tracy has another question for you. And actually two. But she goes, what do you plan on doing for development? And she also said that is all you want to do is cut, and not spend any money. So she wants to know from you, how are you going to get things rolling when you don't want to spend money?
Mrs. What's the lady's name?
Barclay.
Mrs. Barclay, here's where I am with this. I'm a physically conservative social liberal. Physically conservative on financial issues, but liberal on social issues. When it comes to money, spending monies, I only believe that you should spend monies on things that you need first, and you address your wants later. We're in a position here where this city, when I say I don't believe in spending money, here's what this city, how this city is operated. It's operated off splash funds, utilities, permits, and fines. Most of the money is coming from splash funds. Now, we go to the polls next month to vote. Splash will be on the ballot. Who's to guarantee that Splash will pass the next time. What would happen if the voter vote not to fund Splash? What would the city of Grantville do? Where would that leave us? We'll have to find another source of revenue. You're either going to have to raise property taxes if they don't vote for Splash. Permits, fees, everything is going, utilities, everything is going up. Because you won't have Splash to depend on.
Okay. Another gentleman, Eddie Markward, who was recently appointed to the Historical Preservation Commission. Congratulations, Eddie. He wants to know, again, what do you plan on bringing businesses to Grantville? He feels that as close as we are to I-85, something should be happening. And he's right. We're only a mile away from the expressway. Something's got to give, Mr. Lundy.
We got a problem here. We got a real problem. Grantville, the city limits is 3 miles from the city hall in either direction. In those 3 miles, there are 3,000 citizens. That are served by 3 electric companies: Georgia Power, EMC, and MEAG. Georgia Power gets a third, EMC gets a third, MEAG gets a third. But the MEAG they share with the city. The city of Grantville get half of what MEAG gets. Now, it's kind of complicated here when you're talking about bringing businesses into this city. In order for the city of Grantville to benefit from any business coming here, it has to get revenue from the services that the city provides, i.e. water, sewer, electric, and gas. The city of Grantville only controls the first mile from the city hall. That's where we provide service for all the utilities, full service. Past that first mile, there are some customers that we only sell water to. There are some customers that we only sell electricity to. Past that second mile, we don't get any revenue because that's everybody on that third mile from the city is on Georgia Power. It's totally electric, so we don't get any revenue from it other than water. And there are some places where we don't even sell water. The Cuyahoga County sell our citizens water. So we got a problem. In order for the city of Grantville to benefit, it has to be in the area any growth, it has to be in the area that the city controls. That we can get revenue from the utilities that the city provides.
Okay. Mr. Markward, again, wants to know, would you make any changes to the police department? Do you see any changes that you would like to make?
Not in the future. I'm comfortable with what we got now and how we are being served by our police department. I feel, like I said before, I support Chief Whitlock and his efforts and what he's trying to accomplish here. I would hate to see him have to leave because I think, in my opinion, he's doing a good job.
Absolutely. Tell us about your record as a two-term councilman. I've been attending the meetings, for a long time, and we've got an absentee problem. This last time, we didn't even have enough people for a quorum. Have you ever missed meetings in your 8 years as a councilman?
Mr. C6, I sat on that council for 8 years, and I never missed a meeting. I was always there to do my civic duty because the people of this town elected me to sit on that council, and I owed it to them to be there to do the people's business. I never missed a meeting, no matter what it was voted on, I was always there to cast my vote. I never missed a meeting. You owe it to the people that put you there to be there.
Gotcha. What do you think about the recreation department? That's another area that we seem not to be able to keep people. And do we need a full-time, some people like to call it a rec director. Some people, matter of fact, your opponent, Mr. King, advocates making a rec department, like Public Works and, are we big enough to sustain something like that?
Well, as it is now, the way the charter is written, recreation falls under Streets and Public Works, and the revenue from recreation comes out of the general fund. Now, when you talk about recreation, what we need to do here, we need to add some facilities. I support the recreation program, but I would like to see us add some facilities where we could have a viable recreation program. We need a building so that we can offer a full service recreation program to every age group in this town. And I would support more funds for recreation because that's a service that the cities need to provide to its citizens. I mean,
how about something for the senior citizens? Like I myself, I got a bad hip, a bad shoulder, I'm overweight. Any help for me?
Well,
it sure would be nice to have a place to go and work out.
Well, I'm like you, I'm a senior citizen too, and I would like to see, like I said before, a building. I would like to see it modeled after. Troop County had a building on Lafayette Parkway. I would encourage everybody in this town to go to Troop County on Lafayette Parkway to see what the city of LaGrange is doing for its citizens. We could do the same. We don't have the funds that LaGrange have, but we could use splash funds, but like they did, to make improvements to our recreation program. And I'd like to see that happen. So because I support a full service recreation program from the kids to people like you and me,
okay,
to the old crowd.
Yeah. And I often wondered, there's no place for, let's say, the 40 and over crowd, the 50 and over crowd, where they can go and meet, have a pot of coffee, maybe play checkers, get to know each other. There's no meeting place here. These little rec buildings, they're really not, they just don't feel the need.
You're right, Sarge. They don't feel the need. That's why I would like to see this city use some of this money that we get from Splash diverted to our recreation program so that we can expand and have a full service recreation program. And I say I don't, when I say, one of your listeners said I'm not gonna spend any money. I wouldn't spend splash money because that's tax money that you, me, and everybody else pay. I would never spend splash funds on anything that depreciates in value. I would only spend splash funds on something that add value or increase the value or make things, parks. I like to see parks, walking trails. This city needs that to be able to go from one subdivision anywhere around town without having to cross the highway, trails, walking trails. We can do that. But we just gotta put the resources there to do it. We can have areas where the citizens can get out and walk around town in an atmosphere where they can see and get involved with nature. Walking trails, you put benches down, you get tired, you sit down, you just walk. we need to, there are a lot of things this city needs. But you gotta have somebody there. You gotta have 3 people on the same page that's willing to go in that direction to try to make these things happen. And I'm willing to work with anybody.
I was just going to ask you, are you going to be able to work with the mayor and the president council, which would be Willie Key and Ms. Ruby Hines?
As long as it's in the best interest of this town, for the citizens of this town. If it will improve the quality of life for the citizens of this town, I'm willing to work with anybody.
Okay. Alrighty. I attended one of the comprehensive plan meetings. Nobody showed up. And I think it is so important to have citizen input. What are we going to do about the apathy that people have in this town? I know that's I'm getting on the outskirts, but it seems to me if we get more people involved, we can tap the intellect that is in the city.
Sarge, when I first went on council in 2006, there were a lot of people that was trying to make something happen. The problems we got here aren't minor. Everybody got their own agenda. Some people want this, some people want that, and it's all group. When you're talking about these people, they represent a group. This group want this group want that. And there are some people here that if it's not their idea, it's not a good idea. It's all about them. I mean, if they didn't present it, it's not a good idea. There have been some things here that would move this city in a positive direction, but you had people who opposed it because it wasn't their idea. Now, we need to be able to fill those storefronts up downtown. That's going to be a problem. People say bring businesses downtown. That's going to be a problem. In order to do that, you got to have a traffic flow going through downtown. We don't have that traffic. We don't have anything there that will cause an increase in the traffic flow. Like I said before, I've been here 71 years. That old mill, when that mill was operating, you had cars going and coming all day, every day.
One final question, Mr. Lundy. The city owns some historical buildings. I'm going to start with the old gym in City Hall, the auditorium, the train depot, the passenger depot. Those are probably the only gems we got left. Are you in favor of historical preservation? Of our buildings. I'm not talking about privately owned buildings, just the buildings that the city presently owns.
I think this city has done a disservice to the city. Not the city, the administration, the past administrations, me included, have done a disservice to the city, but it wasn't my fault because I was the only one to vote. But in the past, I have always supported restoring the old gym. I support that because that building would give this city somewhere to have civic functions. You know,
absolutely.
And once you got that building open, then there would be all kind of activities that people would go to and enjoy. The gym, there's a building in City Hall that I like to see refurbished. It's wooden part. I like to see that opened up and be made into a rec center.
Okay.
The depot, that's another conversation, see, because the railroad owned that. And for us to spend any money there, I'm not sure I could support that.
Okay. Well, I think that pretty much wraps us up, Mr. Lundy. Thank you, sir, and good luck to you.
All right, Sarge, and I appreciate the time. You took to interview me, but I'm not gonna make any promises here because I understand what the issues are. There's gonna be people tell you we're gonna bring business here, we're gonna do this.
We've heard it all before.
It takes 3 votes.
Yeah.
And I'm not making any promises I can't keep. I'm just telling you and anybody else that's listening, I'm willing to work with anybody to see this city prosper, move forward.
Well, the director is telling us we're almost out of time. GrantvilleNation, I want to thank you very much for watching the video, and we've got 2 more to go. Hopefully, 4 more to go. But we'll just have to wait and see. Again, thank you very much.